We continue now at the top of Daf Yud Bezam and Bezam Meseches Makkos. This is Makkos Daf 12b. This Daf is sponsored by David Grossman. Thank you for your sponsorship. If you'd like to sponsor an Amud or Daf, see the description box below to see how you can support this channel. On the previous Amud, the Gemara asked a question from a Mishnah in Meiser Sheni against our Mishnah. Our Mishnah, when it comes to Ari Miklat, it said that if you have a tree, let's say the branches are in one part and the root of the tree, the trunk of the tree is somewhere else, so you follow the branches. That's in terms of whether or not the Rotzeach is in the Ari Miklat or not. We determine that we determine the status of the tree based on where the branches are. If the branches are in the Ir Miklat, then it's considered the whole tree is in the Ir Miklat, and vice versa. And the Gemara's question was that when it comes to Meiser Sheni, in the Mishnah in Meiser Sheni, it doesn't say that. In the Mishnah in Meiser Sheni, it says that when you have a tree, it just goes by what's within the walls of Yerushalayim and what's outside of the walls of Yerushalayim. The halach is you have to eat Meiser Sheni in Yerushalayim. If you're within the walls of Yerushalayim, that's in Yerushalayim, you can eat the Meiser Sheni, otherwise not. And if the tree is, let's say, is split, so it just depends on where you are in terms of the walls of Yerushalayim. Now, the Gemara initially answered the contradiction by saying that when it comes to Meiser Sheni, there actually we do follow the walls of Yerushalayim. That's different than by Arei Miklat. That was the Gemara's original answer. But then the Gemara asked from another brisa, and the Gemara called it a brisa, but the commentators note, as we'll see in a moment, that it seems to be from the Mishnah in Meisers. But they asked that we find over there also when it comes to Meiser Sheni that we actually follow the Nofa, we follow the branches. And so the Gemara now instead answers that it's actually a Machlokas Tanoim, as the Gemara now brings Rabbi Yehuda Omer, that Rabbi Yehuda says, B'ma'ora, when it comes to a cave, Holech Achar Pischa, you follow the opening of the cave, and Be'ilan, when it comes to a tree, Holech Achar Nofo, you follow the branches. And Rashi explains, Rabbi Yehuda le'inyan Meiser Omra Lamilse. This is something that was said with regards to Meiser. Halach achar pischa, you follow the entrance, kula bifnim, upsucha lechutz, meaning, let's say the whole cave is inside, and the entrance on the outside, kalachutz, then it's going to be like on the outside, kula bachutz, upsucha lefnim, if it's all on the outside, and the entrance on the inside, kilefnim, then it will be like the inside. And Rashi continues, Be'ilon halach achar nofo, again by a tree you follow the branches, umasnisan dehach, in our Mishnah right over here, Meseches Makkos, uvraisen, also the brisa, and again this is where the Mesoros Hashas notes, Ksas Torachin, to have Mishnah, it's actually a Mishnah. But in any case, that's Rabbi Yehuda, that all follows Rabbi Yehuda, meaning to say the Mishnah in Maisros, and our Mishnah follows Rabbi Yehuda, and that's why we follow the branches. Umasnisan de'ilon shom huomid bifnim, and the Mishnah in Meseches Meiser Sheni, where it seemed to say we follow the wall of Yerushalayim, that's the Rabbanan. And we don't have that original answer. The original answer was, again, we make a distinction between Meiser Sheni and Arei Miklat, and now we're saying, no, there's no distinction between Meiser Sheni and Arei Miklat. Rather, it's just a machlokus between Rabbi Yehuda and the Rabbanan. But the Gemara continues and says, you can't give this answer, because Amor de Shamat lei the Rabbi Yehuda gabe Meiser l'chumra. I understand that Rabbi Yehuda, when it comes to Meiser, he would say this as a stringency. Ikaro bachutz v'nofo bifnim, meaning to say, let's say the trunk of the tree is outside of Yerushalayim, and the branches of the tree are in Yerushalayim. Ki heichik dev'nofo lo matzi parak. So just like in the branches, you're no longer allowed to redeem the Meiser Sheni because you're already in Yerushalayim. B'ikaro nami lo matzi parak. So if you're by the trunk of the tree, you also can't redeem. That would be a chumrah. I can understand saying a chumrah, you follow the branches. And the same the other way. Ikaro mebifnim. Let's say the trunk of the tree is inside Yerushalayim, v'nofo mibachutz, and the branches are outside of Yerushalayim. Ki heichi dev'nofo lo matzi achel. Just like you're not able to eat by the branches, because again that's outside Yerushalayim, you have to eat the Meiser Sheni in Yerushalayim. Below Padiyah, without redeeming, you can't eat. B'ikaro nami lo matzi achel below Padiyah. So too, by the trunk of the tree, you're not going to be able to eat the Meiser Sheni without redemption. So in other words, I can understand what Reb is saying if he's saying it all as a chumrah. Elagabe Arei Miklat, but when it comes to Arei Miklat, Bishlama Ikaro Bachutz V'nofo Bifnim, I understand if the main part of the tree, the trunk of the tree, is outside of the Ir Miklat, and the branches are inside, so then you'll say a chumrah. Ki hechid v'nofo lo matzi katale, just like you can't kill the person when he's in the branches because he's in the Ir Miklat, so you can't kill the Rotzeach there. B'ikaro nami lo matzi katale, so you can't kill him, let's say he's by the trunk of the tree. Ela Ikaro Bifnim, but let's say the main part of the tree, the trunk of the tree is inside the city. V'nofo Bachutz, and then the branches on the outside. You're going to say that just like you can kill him by the branches, you also could kill him by the trunk of the tree. That doesn't make any sense. He's inside the Ir Miklat. Of course you can't kill him over there. And so the point over here is you can't simply say that we always follow the branches. We understand you could say that by Meiser Sheni, because you can say we always follow the branches l'chumra. But that kind of logic does not apply when it comes to the Arei Miklat. So this answer does not work. And the Gemara continues and answers, Amar Rabba says, Ikaro dekuli alma lo pligi. Let's say you have a situation, again, where Ikaro is bifnim, the main part of the tree is inside and the branches are bachutz. There, actually, you're right. Everybody agrees, the lo motzi katal. You're not able to kill the person, let's say he's by the main part, because he is in the ir miklat. In other words, Rabba is saying, we are going to give this answer, that according to Rabbi Yehuda, you follow the branches, and we're only following the branches l'chumra, and that's true by ir miklat as well. And therefore, for example, if the branches are on the outside, and the rotseach is by the trunk of the tree, on the inside, you're not going to be able to kill him, because you're not going to follow the branches there, because that would be essentially a leniency, and you have to always be strict. But koi benofo v'yachol lahargo bechitzim uvitzroros. Let's say, for example, the person is by the branches of the tree, and the person is able to kill him with arrows or with rocks, with pebbles. Tukuli alma lo pligi demotzi katale. There, everybody agrees that he is able to kill him, because again, talking about in a situation where the main part of the tree is inside and the branches are outside, if he's by the branches which are outside the city, we will actually say in that case that you're able to kill him. But ki pligi, what are they arguing about? B'mahave ikaro dar golanofo. The whole machlokas tanoim is, can the person, the goel hadam, use the trunk of the tree as a step, as a way to climb up to the branches in a situation where the rotzeach is by the branches? Mar savar have ikaro dar golanofo. One says that the trunk of the tree can be like steps to get to the branches. Umar savar, and the other one holds lo have ikaro dar golanofo, that no, the main part of the tree is not able to be a step to get to the branches. And Rashi explains, ki pligi, when are they arguing? The ka'amar Rabbi Yehuda, meaning when Rabbi Yehuda says, when it comes to the ir miklat, holach achar hano, follow the branches, that's simply to say, lamahave ikaro dargo lanofo, that in terms of the trunk being like a step, being able to access the branches, sheyikones goel hadam besochatchom, meaning to say, is the goel hadam allowed to enter into the boundary of the city, v'yala derecha ikar, and then he'll go up the trunk, v'yargeno benofo, and then kill him on the branches. Ka'amar, that's what he was saying. V'chihach kula islei Rabbi Yehuda, and this kind of leniency that Rabbi Yehuda does have. To halav ikar shadi basar nof ela kol chad kidakoi, because you don't see that the main part is following the branches fundamentally. We are saying that each one is where it is, but Rabbi Yehuda would say that you can follow the nof in the sense that you're allowed to use the trunk of the tree to get access to the area of the nof. And the Gemara continues and gives another answer. Ravashi Amar, Ravashi says, "My achar hanof." What does it mean? You follow the branches. It means af achar hanof. It means you even follow the branches. And Rashi explains, Ravashi Amar, "My achar hanof." To kamer masnis and dacha, meaning our Mishnah over here in Makkos. V'chein Bryce, and again the Meseches Hashas says it's really a Mishnah. V'chein Bryce ba'orei miklat af achar hanof. It means to say even after the branches v'Reb Yehudahi, and it follows Reb Yehuda v'kulu l'chumra. And again, it's all a chumra. It's all a stringency. Ulinyan ma'aser kiddushanin. Like we said by Ma'aser Sheni, exactly what we said. When Rabbi Yehuda says we follow the branches, we're always following the branches l'chumra. U'le'inyan miklat, and when it comes to the Ari miklat, af achar hanof kamra, what he means to say is we even follow the branches. Meaning, teheichadi karo bachutz v'nofo b'fnim, meaning if the main part of the tree, the trunk, is outside, and the branches are on the inside, shadi karo basar nofo l'chumra. So then, we're going to say the trunk follows the branches, and we're going to be machmir, and we're going to say that you're not allowed to kill the rotzeach, v'lo teima, you don't say that wherever he is, he is. If he's in the city, he's in the city. If he's outside the city. No, you don't say that. In a situation where the branches are inside the city, then we consider even the trunk to be inside the city. But in the other way around, when the main part of the tree is inside and the branches are outside, shadi nofo basar ikaro, then you have to say actually that the branches they follow the main part, v'lo matzi katel benofo, and you cannot kill him in the branches. Umishum devekuli gemara shadina nof basar ikar, and the point over here is as follows. Since in all other situations in the Gemara we say that the nof follows the main part, so we're saying over here that when it comes to Ari Miklat, zimnin deshadinan ikar basar nof l'chumra. Sometimes we'll say the other direction. Sometimes we'll say that the main part of the tree follows the branches l'chumra. That's what it means to say af achar nof. There are situations where you're going to say that the ikar follows the nof when that results in a chumra that you're not going to be killing the rotzeach. And the Gemara continues with the Mishnah, Harag ba'osa ha'ir. Let's say somebody who is exiled to an ir miklat, he then kills by mistake in that very same city. Then gola mishchuna l'shchuna, he'll go to exile from one neighborhood in that city to another neighborhood in that city, because he's not supposed to leave the city because he was already exiled there. Uben Levi gola me'ir l'ir. Now let's say it's a Ben Levi who happens to live in this ir miklat. He wasn't exiled to the ir miklat, he's just a resident. So then if he kills by mistake, he's just exiled from one city to another. He goes to a different ir miklat. And the Gemara says, Tana Rabban, the rabbis taught echad v'samti l'cha makom. It says, I'll make for you a place. Means v'samti l'cha b'chayecha. Means I'm going to make in your lifetime, even in the wilderness, there's going to be a place that's going to serve as an ir miklat. Makom mimakomcha asher yanas shama, a place. It's from your place that you will flee over there. Melamed shayu Yisrael megalin b'midbar. It teaches us that Klal Yisrael, they would have a place to go to exile in the wilderness. And lehechan megalin, to where would they be exiled? L'machane Levi, to the Levi camp that was in the wilderness. Mikan Amram, from here they say, Ben Levi shaharag, that if a Ben Levi kills by mistake, golem plach leplach, he's exiled from one plach to another plach. Rashi says that a plach is a Medina, which the Bach says really just means a city, meaning he's exiled from one city to the next city. As we said above, the Ben Levi goes me'ir le'ir. V'im gola lepolcho, now if it happens to be that he's exiled to his own city, so polcho kolto, so then his city will in fact admit him and will protect him. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Acha b'rei Ravika, Rav Acha the son of Ravika says, my kra, what pasuk indicates this? Ki be'ir miklato yeshiv, it says in his ir miklat he will dwell, ir shekal taso kvar, the city that already has admitted him. And that's the same idea also. Again, if somebody was exiled to an ir miklat and then he kills by mistake within that ir miklat, he's just going to go from one neighborhood to the other neighborhood. And the Gemara continues with the Mishnah, Kayotze bo, similarly, Rotzeach shegol ir miklato, let's say a murderer is exiled to his city of refuge, Vuratzu anshe ir lechavdo, and the people of the city, they want to give him some kind of honor. Yomer lahem, he should say to them, Rotzeach ani, I'm a murderer. Amru lo, if they say to him, Afal piche, nevertheless we want to honor you, Yekavel mehen, he can accept it from them, Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, V'zed devar Rotzeach, this is the word of the Rotzeach, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Yud Gimel Amud Aleph.